I like how it's always like a big rush to like the start, or who's gonna press the live, who's gonna press the evil Ewok.
Well, because we can screw it up so badly if we're not on the same page.
Like, are you gonna do it? No, I don't know. Fuck, let's just go. I don't know what's gonna happen.
This time we will do it
Anyway,
together.
we are back. This time we will do it together. We are back. Evil Ewok podcast is back. Kat is out. She is working on a casting call for some film. So congrats to her. Hopefully it works out. We have X-Wing popping in from. Wait, are you in Massachusetts? Is that
New
where you said?
Bedford, Massachusetts, man.
Yeah, Massachusetts. So thank you for popping on. He's abroad training. So, for you to pop on with your Jack and Coke is much appreciated. You're making me a little jealous. I kind of want some, but anyway. So I heard through the grapevine that this thing called Kenobi dropped. I don't know, like a couple days ago.
Fake. It's not.
Is it fake news? I actually I don't recall.
I thought it was a trailer you made.
It was a fan trailer, yeah.
Fan trailer.
Throwing shade.
Yeah.
I've made so many of those. Dude. I'm actually making one right now as we speak, so that's why it's like, once this show's over, it's gonna be no more Kenobi trailers, and it's gonna be all Andor trailers. But
you
anyway,
do it better than Lucasfilm does it anyway.
Not
yeah.
really, but I appreciate that. Aiden with the first super chat. Probably won't be able to stick around long tonight. Have a good one. Kenobi trailer was hype. Can't wait to see Hayden. On that note, should we just go into discussion, or do you want to showcase our little meme, Zach, of the day?
We have our meme of the week made by us this week. If you've been following my channel, you've already seen it, but we'll just go ahead and play it again.
Leave us alone. When the time comes, he must be trained. Like you trained his father?
I love Vader coming through. He's like,
Vader's just walking through. I actually forgot you posted that. I actually didn't realize that was you that posted that first, because I was like, "Oh, this is golden." I almost sent it to you, and I was like, "Oh wait, this is our video."
That would have been hilarious. I would have been like, "Bro,
you're like, bro, I made this."
What's actually really funny is that when that trailer dropped, everybody's in the Discord talking about it, and the first thing I pulled up was that line, and then I used that GIF right after it. Just like,
it just felt like natural. It's like it's exactly.
It's such a good burn.
To be honest, I don't really enjoy the notion of Kenobi getting burned. He's usually the burner, not the burnee, so I'm a little upset about that.
He's the grow master.
I might be able to recover, but I think this literally means we're going to see a new Kenobi. He's not the same witty Kenobi that we've always loved to know, but
yeah,
rip.
that was a big point of contention among a lot of the. I mean, you can see it right here, so it's not a leak at all. I mean, we're getting a different Kenobi, and a lot of people were really upset. They're like, I don't want a PTSD Kenobi. I don't want a down in the depths.
Oh,
Kenobi.
I've always wanted one.
Well, yeah, he has to go somewhere, and if he's already there, then that doesn't make for a good story. So he's got to start low and then come back high.
Yeah. Well, I guess we'll get into that. We'll talk about your escapades in Tennessee a little bit later, but we'll get into the Obi-Wan Kenobi trailer. There are a couple things I want to talk about specifically. The first of which is Obi-Wan being insistent that Luke must be trained, and to me, this kind of signaled that he's still like super on board with the whole plan. And I was kind of hoping he wouldn't be. Like his faith would have been so diminished to the point where he was kind of shirking his like whole we need to train Luke and beat the Empire kind of thing. But what did you guys think about this? What did this line tell you, if anything?
You can go first, X-Wing.
I was super happy to see that. I was really happy to see it, because I'm okay seeing a depressed and kind of beaten down Kenobi, but what I don't want is another "it's time for the Jedi to end" legacy character. Like, no, just no. So, yeah, I was super okay with that. And Kenobi's faith has always been kind of unshaken in the Jedi. I mean, even when it came to his best friend, his brother turning, his faith in the Jedi was never shaken. Even with Anakin screaming at him about the lies of the Jedi and everything, his faith has always been in the Jedi. So
That's true.
Yeah, I think it's nice that they're kind of keeping with his character and what he's always been like his entire life. And if anything, he's been like the perfect Jedi, I guess, in my respect. So for him to kind of want to continue the order is great. He's not doing any Last Jedi stuff, as you said, which is phenomenal. Yeah, I think it was imperative that they went this way. I wasn't sure what they were going to do. I wasn't sure if it was going to be like him just, feeling protective over him and not wanting to fail him the same way he failed Anakin, but not necessarily wanting to train him either. Just making sure they never found him was maybe going to be his goal going forward.
Yeah.
But the fact that he actually wants to train him right off the bat is, like he has his call to action right there to bring the order back already. After everything that happened, he wants to, still lead the religion that failed him so many times. So
it's interesting that he says when the time comes he must be trained, because Jedi, I mean, as you guys know, they're taken really young, and Luke is already 10 at this point, so it's kind of past due already. So obviously, I'm assuming Owen just has been constantly adamant about Luke not being trained from a very young age. So I imagine he's gonna dislike Obi-Wan right off the bat in this show. And this is going to be one of those things where it's like, I've told you 1,000 times, Kenobi, not letting you train him, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
How many times do we have to teach you this lesson, old man?
Yeah.
And I mean, it's such a good callback to the OT. I mean, we know that he does not like Kenobi. We know that he didn't like the idea of, it's like why I always say, Harry Potter and Star Wars are the same story.
Yeah,
it's the exact same.
Only the fandoms are completely opposite.
Yeah.
like literally the fandoms, like I remember there are so many times where I've wanted to, I guess, like just make something like Harry Potter related because I was just in the mood for like Snape, for example. I wanted to make like a Snape tribute, and like everyone's like, dude, if you make anything that's not like Star Wars, like I'm gonna unsubscribe or whatever. So it's like literally, if you like Star Wars and you subscribe to a channel that makes Star Wars content, that's all you that's all you can make. If you make anything else, it's blasphemy. Very interesting.
I feel like Lord of the Rings overlaps quite a bit, especially with people from like our generation, because the prequels and Lord of the Rings came out at the same time. So like odds are if you were into one, you were into the other. So I've noticed like your Lord of the Rings stuff does pretty well, especially like the most recent one. So
yeah, maybe it's because like Lord of the Rings is just like Star Wars, but it's fantasy, and probably way better written, I think, in my opinion, in a lot of respects. But I don't know. Yeah, the modern trailer did really well, actually. It's still doing really well. And I wasn't expecting that at all. But I think it's like I'm kind of in a corner with content where it's like I'm gonna be making modern trailers now for like the next year probably. Like everyone wants me to make a Pirates of the Caribbean trailer now because of the depth trial.
Right.
So
Right.
We'll see how that unfolds.
You should
I'm excited though.
Incorporate footage from the trial in the trailer.
Someone was like, "You should do a modern trailer for the trial." So it's it's like a documentary.
That'd
So
be
it's
hilarious.
like Amber Turd versus Johnny Depp.
My God.
I'm into it.
But anyway,
you want to go through this?
You mentioned something about. Well, I guess we can just start from the beginning. What I guess one thing off the bat that kind of made it feel a little less epic. Maybe because the teaser was so epic, but the music was very, very generic.
Yeah,
I don't know if you guys
very
felt like that.
subdued.
Yeah, very like melancholic. I don't know if it just wanted to match the tone of hopelessness, whatever, which is fine. But I mean, I felt like a lot of it just didn't match kind of the tone of a lot of the scenes where we were going at. But it's cool that we finally get to see kind of more of the planet. What was this planet called again?
Dayu.
Yeah.
Dayu.
Yeah, Diet Coruscant.
Dayu.
That's what I call it.
Diet Coruscant. Okay, I'll remember that. And then obviously more of this scene, like the beginning of the scene that we showed in the last trailer where they're walking forward. This is like, them walking
The
behind.
reverse.
Is this what do you think this is? Most of this trailer is like, I don't know, like the first act mixed in with some third act, maybe scenes at the end. Just for the sake of having to do it that way.
I can only speak about what they've kind of done historically, both with like Star Wars and Marvel. they usually don't show anything beyond like 2 or 3 episodes, I've noticed. Obviously, X-Wing knows if I'm wrong or not, but that's just what they tend to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I know there's also a lot of I know at least for me so far, I haven't seen any edits that are misleading. You know, usually it's like there's things that are supposed to mislead you to think something's going to happen. But an example of that is let's see, where is it? What's her name? Reva?
I've actually only seen this trailer once.
I've seen it like 5 times.
Yeah,
I
haven't
mean,
rewatched it.
I'm like re-editing it, so I've seen it like a million times.
Yeah.
But this scene here is like another scene taken from the last trailer. Only here you actually see the bullets flying, like the bolts flying, like as if like this is like the same scene that the last trailer ended with Kenobi shooting at the bounty hunters, obviously.
Right.
And it's very like, you know, matter of fact, like this happens here as a result of this action, and then it's going here. It's like very direct and not like the editing isn't as creative as most Star Wars trailers have been, from what I've noticed. So
Right.
I don't know if that just means there's not a lot of creativity, and it's more just like, you know, you're just reading a small little side story, which is kind of, I guess, the point, because it's like a 6-part event is how they put it. But it just kind of makes me think that there's maybe not a whole lot to this other than just, you know, some extra story for Obi-Wan and you know, showcasing the Inquisitors.
I would disagree in the sense that I think, for one, they're not trying to get too. So I would agree they're not trying to get too wild with the editing here and throw you in a bunch of different directions. I think they're showing a particular portion of the show's plot. So we're focusing on like Inquisitors, and we've got Tatooine, and we've got Dai, and that's basically what we've seen to this point, other than the Fortress Inquisitorius, but that also falls into it. But I think in the greater context of things, there's probably more things going on that we don't necessarily know yet. And so while it might
or
seem
you
like,
know,
okay,
and everyone else doesn't know.
right, like this is just what's happening, but there may be a lot more going on there.
It seems like they're kind of, it's very inciting incident heavy. Like this is what starts the action, and it that's kind of all it's showing us. It's showing us like kind of what Obi-Wan's been doing, and then somehow he gets wrapped up in being chased by Inquisitors, and that's kind of what it sticks to throughout both trailers.
Right.
Let's see. Sledge. We already talked about this earlier. We were into it. I at first wasn't into it, but they convinced me. And then this is a good point. But like they retcon stuff all the time now. Like little thing. Like hell, this whole show is kind of a retcon if Vader is gonna meet Obi-Wan.
I mean, yes and no. I was honestly, dude, from the beginning, I was hoping to God Vader wasn't in it. But now that he is in it, I have to jump aboard the hype train and hope that they, you know, give Hayden some awesome lines and give Vader some awesome lines and have some cool scenes that add to, you know, to the greatest villain and or anti-hero and or tragic character of all time. So
yeah, I think for me, I fought that for a long time when the leaks first started coming out that Vader was going to show up. I didn't even think they were going to release it in the trailers or anything like that, but they've been very, very open about it. And vehemently, I hated the idea of Vader being in the show. And then it was like a switch flipped one day, and I guess I'm just okay with it. So now I just really hope that they do it well.
Yeah, I'm really intrigued by the dynamic between them. And I guess like I was just like you. Like at first I was like, no, they shouldn't meet. It was very clear that they hadn't met for 20 years in A New Hope, and I was fine with that. But then I guess I accepted it, and I'm pretty interested for potential conversations that they might have, more so than them actually fighting. Like I just want them to talk. Like, and I know they're not going to sit down and like hash it out, but like I want them to have a few lines back and forth, at least. But I agree with what Sledge is saying here. It did feel like the first trailer felt bigger to me. Like it felt like if you'd shown me that, I would have said, okay, this is a movie. This did feel more like what it is, a 6-part series.
A Disney Plus show.
Yeah.
And I mean, you have to realize too, a lot of that stuff happened with the prequel trilogy as well. You know, Obi-Wan saying, "I don't ever seem to remember owning a droid," and R2D2's right there, and obviously Obi-Wan did own a droid. He had R4,
Obi-Wan's
so
just a drunk
yeah.
now, dude.
Yeah.
He's doing too
The
much
whole
ayahuasca in the
ser-
desert.
The whole series is him just going on a bender.
Too many nose lizards.
Yeah.
At first, do you remember in the first trailer, it kind of shows that shot, like that, like vertigo shot, panning into, or zooming into Kenobi, and there's like a little thing next to him. I just always looked at that and I was like, oh, he's just, just a very large, or what did Amber Heard, or what did the Amber Heard's lawyer say that Johnny is like a super pint?
A
Super
mega
of
pint.
lager, a mega pint of lager. I was like, dude,
There was a
Obi-Wan just
mega
has a
pint
mega
of
pint
wine.
of wine.
Yeah.
Obi-Wan's just too busy drinking his mega pints. So
Yeah.
Yeah, what did you guys think about this? Because it did get the lowest rating in terms of like parental discretion of any of the Star Wars
Oh.
shows. And a lot of people are upset about this. I could hear the argument. I don't think it's a huge big deal, but like Revenge of the Sith was PG-13. So I would have liked something at least on par with Revenge of the Sith.
I was hoping it was like, not TV mature, but like, what is it, 14?
Yeah,
14
14 would have been
the
cool.
rating?
Yeah.
Yeah, because then you can show blood. Because you can show blood now to teenagers. You just can't. You can only say the F word once. You can say
Could you
shit
imagine?
shit a bunch of times. I don't. Kenobi's just a fucking potty mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of funny. Yeah, I mean, blood's never really been like a huge thing that I need in Star Wars, but yeah, definitely that like PG-13. I mean, I feel like George got away with a lot for a PG-13 on Revenge of the Sith. I mean, Anakin like burning to death and screaming.
Yeah,
So
I
it's pretty
wonder
gnarly.
if like he hid that from the studio, and then like when it got premiered, they're like, "Wait, I thought we cut this." And
Yeah.
George just looks at him,
Wait a minute.
smiling. He's like, "No."
I mean, I
Unlimited
guess
power.
this doesn't completely rule out brutality, right? Because Rebels, there were some decapitations in Rebels.
But that's animation, though. It's different.
Yeah, but still, like they can still do. It's still subject to the same rating system, is it not? Like
No, animation's different.
So you can decapitate someone in animation. I mean, they didn't even show it. It was just very implied that they got decapitated.
Yeah, that was the scene when they were on board the Inquisitor and Tarkin, right?
Yeah, they killed their own officers.
Yeah, such a great scene, dude. I mean, even if they just do implied decapitations in live action,
that's fine. Yeah,
they can do that. That's fine.
Yeah,
like they're a lot. They just can't show it in live action.
Well, and don't forget, like in the first trailer, we had a dude hanging by his neck.
That's
dead.
true. That's true.
So,
or
we'll have to see how it plays out.
I don't know.
This isn't Disney Channel stuff. So there's definitely going to be some violence.
What was Pirates of the Caribbean's rating? Is it PG or PG-13?
Look it up.
I don't know. I thought they were PG-13.
Because the second one is pretty dark, and if that's PG, then it means that there's a lot you can do for kids who aren't teenagers yet.
Yeah, it's PG-13.
All of them are.
Curse of the Black Pearl was. Let me see what the second one is.
Yeah, Karen
Dead Man's Chest is PG-13. Pirates of the Caribbean 3 is also PG-13.
Okay, so they're all PG-13.
Yeah.
Ah, damn. Okay, that's kind of worrying me a little bit. But then again,
the nice thing about lightsabers is everything cauterizes. Like
I was gonna say, is cauterization the reason why it's 9+? Because if it was swords, it might have to be TV-14, which is such a weird thing. I don't understand the rating system, but
I don't either.
Anyway, I did really like this scene. Are you guys still kind of upset about the whole Inquisitor look thing, or could you care less?
I don't like it. I'm not upset. I just don't like it.
It's just a different character to me. It's a completely different character. Like nothing about this character screams Rebels, Grand Inquisitor. So I'm just it's just different.
I'm excited for the actor because the actor is amazing, but he doesn't look like himself in this, so that's why I'm even more confused.
Yeah. I mean, he isn't a pale, bald.
Well,
alien
like
dude.
usually you can still determine because they didn't change much about his appearance. They just gave him like face makeup and
Right.
he doesn't have his hair, but like it doesn't look like him at all still, even without any changes. So I'm like so confused about that. Like it's like if you're gonna not look like yourself, it'd be nice if you looked more like the character that you're supposed to be. But whatever.
I think he looks the best he ever has in this shot in particular. I think it's because we're kind of far from him and he's well exposed. But
50-yard fake out.
yeah, I just don't understand why he doesn't have yellow eyes. I've heard all the arguments for his like head shape and whatever, the mobility factor, but like he's had yellow eyes in every other version that he's of his character, whether it's in comics or in Rebels. I don't know why they didn't just give him yellow eyes. It makes no sense to me.
It's
Is
not
that
very
Saber
hard
CG
either.
right there?
Let's see. I don't think so.
It just looks CG to me.
It looks very shiny and like it's not almost like not moving with the camera the right way. Hold on.
Yeah. Did you? I felt like my eyes caught.
This lady has
Some
some
CG
balls
there.
on her though.
Hey, look at that fucking.
She's a G.
Giving her a mad dog, giving him a mad dog stare. No one likes the Inquisitors. No, it's
Yeah, why
not
would
CG.
you?
It's practical, but like it looks funny.
Yeah. Kind of crazy.
Yeah, no, because there's too much actual camera movement for us to like be able to identify it more easily. But this is like it still stays in the same place even with the weird up and down movement of the camera.
Oh, I wanted to ask you guys this. A lot of people were saying that they thought Ewan's voice was changed to sound more like Alec Guinness's.
Oh,
I
noticed that. Okay, go ahead.
I didn't think it sounded like, I thought it was just the tone of voice he was speaking in. I don't think it sounded like too much different than his usual voice.
I totally.
The only thing I noticed was the high pitch when he said it's time. When it's time, he needs to be trained. It sounded really high pitched to me.
Yeah, here we'll play it.
Let's get demonetized.
No, we won't.
Yeah, hey Barrett.
Hold on. I gotta share with audio.
Yeah, that's what I thought, Alice. I thought he sounded pretty consistent with his
I
other...
don't think they
Do
modulated.
you guys hear anything or no?
When the time comes, he must be trained. Like you
Yeah,
It just sounds like him.
I can't even hear him.
I can hear him.
I guess as a host, I can't hear it. What the hell?
Weird.
leave us alone. When the time comes, he must be trained. Like
Yeah.
you trained his father.
See,
He just sounds like he's pleading,
yeah.
which he is. He's pleading.
Sounds like he's a British officer talking to everyone. No, I think. I wonder if they're like you. So like this like thing called Clone Wars, like James Arnold Taylor. Can you like
heard of it.
sound like him? And he's like, what? I was the first Kenobi. He's like, yeah, but everyone loves that Kenobi.
I would
like,
think
no,
that
everyone loves me.
that's
They
more
can't give the
accurate.
Inquisitor yellow eyes, but they can change Ewan McGregor's voice to sound more like James Arnold Taylor.
Dude, they spent 6 months changing the pitch on his voice
Right.
every time he spoke in the entire series, and then they're like, okay, I think we're all good on post production, and then like the trailer comes out, they're like, oh, we forgot his yellow eyes and his face.
Ah,
He's like,
damn it.
it's like, but like I don't really want to do it at this point. They're like, okay,
We're out on the budget.
yeah, it's like, dude, we still got like 10 mil in the bank. It's like, yeah, but I just really don't want to do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I noticed that because like I'm listening. I just separated the audio and I'm listening to it, and I'm like, it almost doesn't really sound like Jedi Obi-Wan. It sounds like Cockney Obi-Wan from London.
I don't know. I didn't
Train
bother.
spotter.
It sounded normal to me.
Train spotters. Yeah, he's wearing like a really tight t-shirt. He sounds like he's in a British television show. But anyway,
Yeah, I think he's probably going to drop because he had the very kind of manicured mannerisms in the prequels for sure. And he did sound a bit more prim and proper.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's going to drop a lot of that in the show and just sound more like Ewan McGregor talking than your,
Oh, I was going to say, did you notice like Owen's, like the raspiness in Owen's voice?
Yeah.
Joe, like he literally added the raspiness like in the New Hope, and I'm like, dude, that's commitment, and I love that.
Yeah.
He's a great actor. Like they got
Yeah.
really lucky that they casted him in the
Yeah.
prequels, and then he turned out to be a great actor.
It's like George just like randomly picks someone to be Owen Lars, and like it
Yeah.
ends up happening to be Joel Edgerton, who ends up going on to do like a lot of great films. Like
It's
Yeah.
like drafting a player in the 7th round of the NFL draft, and then they turn out to be like a star.
Hall of Famer.
yeah, like,
Yeah, it's like
George
that.
George Lucas just cast Tom Brady every single time.
Yeah, he did.
Like, it's hilarious. I really like the way they hang the X or the types. Oh my god, I almost said X-wings.
Yo, watch your mouth, bro.
TIE fighters, like with this is like the postmodern TIE fighter bay, and I
Yeah.
like it. You know,
Yeah,
it looks
that's
great.
the Fortress Inquisitorius for sure.
Yeah.
Because the Scythe just landed and they had that Lambda class shuttle in that first shot. So
You mean Azkaban?
Azkaban, yeah.
Yeah, it's
Where are the Dementors?
yeah. I do like when we were at Disneyland yesterday, there was a seventh sister that was wearing one of these outfits, and like it looks so good in person. Like it looks so good.
I love the set design of this show so far. Like I love how Tatooine looks so bleak and dismal, and I love how this looks so clean and dark and evil.
Yeah.
with
As the
red and
Imperial
white.
should.
Yeah, it looks perfect. Like they nailed the set design again.
It almost looks like Dune.
It looks
Is this
good.
me?
It looks a little more washed out than Dune for me.
Surprised about the clouds, honestly.
Yeah, huh.
It's like the
That's
Pixar,
why
the
they
Toy
have-
Story wallpaper.
Well, that's why they have moisture farms.
Yeah.
That just literally means, oh, there's so much moisture everywhere.
Yeah, that must have been a good day for the moisture farmers.
See ya, Charlie.
Later, Charlie.
I come to think of it, I can't think of a single time when they filmed in Tunisia where I saw a cloud in the sky. Ever.
Does this just mean they used the new tech?
The
Parallax?
sound?
No, the parallax background to mimic on-set location.
Or the volume, not the sound, the volume.
Yeah,
I'm sure they used it. Yeah.
because like that would make sense. Because like yeah, it's very hard to find clouds over there, like especially when you're filming in the day like this. So it's
Well,
like
they didn't go to Tunisia, dude.
I know,
I think
but like
they did they do all of it on sound like stages? Because he was talking about how much better it was from the prequels when he was acting on like blue screens the whole time, and he's like, on
Yeah.
this I can see the environment around me and it's great.
Yeah, I'm sure it's a mix. I'm sure they did some stuff on a stage and some stuff on the volume.
I mean, if you don't even film on location, at least get the Inquisitor right.
Yeah.
So are these probe droids? Is that what this is?
I think
No,
so.
those so as far as I can tell, I mean, we got that earlier. That's coming out of the top of the Fortress Inquisitorius. They look like escape pods.
Okay, because you hear a probe droid sound effect here.
Do you?
Yeah, here, hold on. I can't hear it, but I think.
Oh yeah.
Did you hear it?
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, I just
You know what,
assumed that's
dude?
what they were.
those 100% are because those match the Empire
Yeah.
pods. Yeah,
Boom! I got something that X-wing didn't get.
dude,
Forget about
nailed it.
myself.
Nailed it.
And then this is obviously the skirmish going on, and she finds Obi-Wan, confronts Obi-Wan. What episode do you think that takes place in?
Dude,
2.
why would they shoot them out of the top of the Fortress Inquisitorius? Like, it makes so much more sense for them to come, or whatever.
I don't know. I guess we'll find out,
Yeah.
or we won't, and then we'll just be like, okay, that's the thing.
Do you think that's how they find Obi-Wan with a probe droid?
He shoots it like Han.
I think, and I don't know this isn't a leak. If I had to speculate, I think they were looking for somebody else.
That's what
I think
too.
that's what it's supposed to be. I think it's this
Yeah.
guy. We'll get to him. I think it's Kumail and Johnny, whatever. I think he's a Jedi, and they find him, and then Obi-Wan comes and saves him or something. That's what I'm thinking happens. And then,
I like this right here. I like this a lot.
I like how it's like a set. It's like one of the like behind the, well, not
Yeah,
behind
like
the
the
scenes, but it's like a set
promo.
picture. Yeah, promo set picture that they took, and they're like, "Do you have any like old Obi-Wan pictures?" And Kathleen's like, "Oh, I got these." He's like, "Oh, just send me those. Just pick one."
I wish he did the Sirius Black though, and just like screamed at the camera. You know.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. I always found that effect to be one of the coolest things in movies. The like live newspapers or the
The
live
live
things.
newspapers,
I thought that
those
was
are
one of the
amazing.
coolest things ever that I saw in any movie ever. So
I'm still waiting for those, bro. So she
Is that
says,
Forlom? Sure looks like it.
who?
Forlom.
let's just assume we know what he's talking about.
He's
Yes.
one of the ones from Empire Strikes Back, right?
Yeah, bounty hunter and his
Oh,
brother
okay.
Foreskin. I'll be right back.
So I mean, I wonder if we're gonna see any other like bounty hunters we know.
Yeah, like if we're gonna see like another IG or
Or Chrysanthemum or something. A lot of
yeah.
people are saying Chrysanthemum because they met in the comics, but I don't know because I wouldn't be opposed. I just don't want them to be like, oh, here's Boba Fett and here's Cad Bane and like look at all these guys you know. Like maybe like one or two. Like if we saw Dengar, that'd be cool. I just don't want to see like everybody that we saw in Empire Strikes Back in the lineup.
You mean Crosshair?
There's a close friend of Forlom that we may see as well. I'll leave you with that. They're never far apart, those two.
Very nice.
Close friend is Han.
Yeah, Han, for sure.
It's George Lucas.
This scene is it, like, what do you think's going on here?
Hold on. I can't see.
It looks like, I mean, they're preparing for battle on Fortress Inquisitorius.
Who would be arriving on the fortress like that? Is it like the rebellion? Like,
Oh, you know exactly who it is.
There's no way. Why would Obi-Wan go there?
It shows you in a scene later.
that's not that he's not there though. He's somewhere else.
Well, keep playing it.
Would he go there alone? Maybe with that droid.
Yeah, this guy. This is who they're looking for. But also, I thought this was very clunky looking. Like, what is she even doing?
She's doing the Obi-Annie spin.
Yeah,
dude.
but like, why you don't block? Like, why is she? What the hell is this? This is. I thought this kind of took me out of it a little bit.
Nostalgia.
It's very slow, and it's just random. It's like they edited, like, at least in the prequels, it felt like they were reacting to bolts. This is just like they spin and then the bolt they
added in bolts later.
Yeah, that's one thing I've noticed in like most Disney stuff. It's like they just are like, oh yeah, just like this is like the choreography, and then we'll just like you don't know where they're coming from. It doesn't matter. We're just gonna act like you know exactly where everything is because you have the Force. And it's
You know what's funny is that's exactly what they did in the prequels, and they still made it look amazing.
It's because I guess it's just because like maybe different camera angles that they were able to grab from. They filmed a lot more. It seems like a lot of them they just kind of filmed from a couple scenes and they have to just make it work.
I also think that the choreography of the prequels was so like they were so dedicated to that. I mean, like they had one of the best choreographers ever. Like
and
that.
Hayden and Ewan were incredible as well. So it's kind of a perfect storm.
Who is this droid?
Oh, never mind.
I heard something about Leia having a droid, so maybe, but I don't know. That looks like a kind of nefarious looking hand. But the droid looks friendly.
Interesting.
Pleading the fifth.
Good.
X-Wing already knows the whole everything. So Obi-Wan's escaping here. This part is what really took me out until it was like a huge clash of just I don't know and then cool, because obviously you see Vader and it's a cool little edit and a little moment, but like everything leading up to this, the moment you hear Reva's voice, it was just kind of like it just felt so forced.
Can we talk about that for a second? Either he already knows Vader is still around, or he met Vader prior to whatever scene she's yelling at him in, because obviously, you know what I mean? Because like I really hope it's the latter, and that he doesn't already know that Vader is still around, because I really want to see that realization from him on screen.
Yeah.
Like,
If he
really
knows
badly.
already at the beginning of the show, I'm going to be real pissed off.
Me too, because that's
Talk about
such a big
robbing people.
it's a missed opportunity.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I was also thinking while I was watching this, like when Rev is like, you can't escape him, everything, like she's just forced and pissed off and everything. And I was like thinking, I was like, okay, let me give her the benefit of the doubt. Vader doesn't treat Inquisitors that fail with,
Oh yeah, he kills them.
yeah, he kills them. So she's probably stressed the hell out. Either she's tasked with finding him, or she found him, reported it, and now it's like her job or something. And the Grand Inquisitor is just like, yo, you got to do this, or Vader's gonna kill you, bro. So she's just stressed out trying to find him, and then just constantly freaking out and like failing over and over again, because I mean it's Obi-Wan. So
the way I interpreted it personally was that she is doing this on her own initiative, and she's like, I know that Vader is obsessed with finding Kenobi. I can win his favor if I bring Kenobi in. And she's like the try hard student. That's kind of how I interpret it, because she's saying like,
yeah,
what if we haven't been looking in the right places, blah blah blah, early on in the trailer. So but it could be what you're saying too, like we just don't really have enough information yet.
I wonder if there's going to be that much interaction really between the Inquisitors and Vader. I think it's going to be much more of the Inquisitors with the Grand Inquisitor.
Yeah. Maybe.
Oh boy, look at that.
Do you think that's Hayden, or do you think they're using a body double?
I mean, for a shot like that, I don't know. Maybe.
It looks so good though.
It does. It makes me so happy.
I thought they were going to show a full body picture or shot after this. Like at the very end, I thought we were going to see Darth Vader, but they didn't do it.
You wanted the full nude?
Oh,
I
he
wanted
is
the
on it.
full nude.
He is on Inquisitorius. How does he get out?
Why is he there? I'm really curious as to like what he's
What
trying
brought
to
him
do.
there? Yeah. Is he going to save someone? If he's going to save someone, I'm like, dude, what? Why?
It's really dumb.
Yeah,
Like,
you're tasked with training Luke, or keeping him safe. You're gonna fail him by dying, just to save another Jedi. Which
talk about hitting the hornet's nest though. Like he's Mustafar, like Vader's not far away from there. Like you can't be dicking around.
He's one block away.
Yeah.
Literally.
Do you think this scene is related to him encountering Vader, or do you think they're just trying to make you think that?
Well, it could be like a force sense, like he senses it somehow or something.
No, that's an Imperial facility. I think
He's on
you
an
can
escape
tell.
pod.
Way too big.
He looks old in this shot, like the oldest he does in this trailer to me. It's probably just the lighting though.
What's the makeup? It's just Alec Guinness.
Over the course of the show, it slowly morphs into Alec Guinness.
Expecting us not to notice.
That part was cool.
Yeah. I love the pressurized sound.
Yeah.
I always love that in Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah.
Well, at least we're gonna see like Kenobi do a lot of his, Clone Wars tossing and turning.
I guess he's moved on from the so uncivilized.
So uncivilized.
That was my comment on the trailer. I was like, he's using a blaster. So
He uses them a lot.
Yeah.
We haven't seen him use a lightsaber in any of the trailers.
Yeah. What's
No.
what is it? We were talking about this, why we don't see a saber at all, or why he doesn't have it.
Because it would out him as a Jedi probably, and he wants to.
Oh yeah, we were talking about like how Qui-Gon just like, whatever, just keep it hanging there, and then every time I take off my tarp, it's just hanging there, and he expects no one to notice.
Yeah. But like Kanan would disassemble it and wear it still, so it wouldn't look like a lightsaber, and then he would put it together when he used it. At least initially in Rebels.
Oh, is that why Ezra's looks all funky?
No, Ezra's just like Ezra wanted to have a gun too, and it made sense because he's like a novice, and it would be nice to have a blaster and a lightsaber. But
Gotcha.
yeah, like I'm positive we're gonna see him use his lightsaber. I mean, he has it ignited in like several promotional.
They're not going to blow that in the trailer.
Yeah,
it's going to be a moment for sure, and it's going to be against Vader. It's not going to be against an Inquisitor or something like that.
Yeah, he's like, dude, I can beat anyone with a saber that isn't Vader. Like,
100%. You're totally right. Like even the Grand Inquisitor wouldn't stand a chance against Obi-Wan with a lightsaber. So it has to be against Vader. The only way the
there has to be
Inquisitors
stakes
are
there.
yeah, the only way the Inquisitors are intimidating is if he doesn't have his lightsaber and he's using a blaster.
Yeah. He has to be creative.
Yeah. Always on the move.
I love the buttons too.
Yeah,
Everything looks so shiny.
it does. Chris.
They did a good job with the LEDs and the Inquisitors and Invader too. They're bright.
Yeah. It's kind of essential. Like you have everything so muted except for, the dark side users and a glowy Hong Kong like planet. So
So close.
anyway, so I guess if you were gonna rate it out of 10, what would you give this trailer?
I would still say 7. Like I know we off stream we talked about how our excitement levels went a little down, but like I'm still very excited for the show.
Yeah.
And although it did feel smaller scale to me as opposed to the first teaser, I still enjoyed it. I watched it like 5 times as soon as it came out. So yeah.
I think they should have stuck with more of the epic feel, and they should have used less long shots of what are probably going to be like kind of draggier moments in the story, and saved more of these kind of cinematic moments and worked those in with epic music and text to maintain the hype level.
Yeah, it almost like seems like they demodernized this trailer. It seems like a very old school type of trailer, the way they kind of drag on a lot of the scenes. And I think that was another reason why the music just also didn't work, because like they're using very slow music and very slow scenes, and then just some text here and there, and it just kind of made you question whether or not you're actually going to want to see it for what you think it's going to be, rather than what it's actually. Wait, I just like talked over my own train of thought. But anyway, somewhere along whatever I was trying to say along those lines. But yeah, I would give it like I'd give this trailer in particular just because of there was one cool voice line that's like, you're looking for Kenobi, he's gone or whatever. That's it. That's one of the Inquisitors, right? That's one of the that's Kang, who is from.
Yeah,
that's him, right?
I think that's him.
That's a great voice, dude. I loved that voice. So that voice line, after you isolate it and you just hear it like without any music, it's beautiful voice line. But I think aside from that voice line and like a couple additions to the scenes, I'd give it like a 6.5 or a 7. I wasn't too hyped after watching it, the same way I was the first trailer. So
well, you put Duel of the Fates in anything, it's like taking a shot of friggin' espresso.
Well, it was Duel of Fates with Battle of the Heroes, and it's like the way it was done was just so beautiful and so epic.
It was also the first footage we got. So it had the advantage there too.
Yeah. Yeah, and it was very minimal.
Yeah.
Like there wasn't a whole lot. Like you felt like there was a lot, but there really wasn't. And here there it feels like there's a lot. Because there is a lot. A lot of long, draggy scenes.
Should we put a poll up in the?
Yeah.
See what people think. All right, I'll put.
See what y'all thought.
We're gonna do.
Yeah, John Williams didn't score it, huh? I saw there was something in the description, score by someone else.
Yeah, he did. He did an original theme for Kenobi, and don't quote me on this, but I think this is accurate. He did an original theme for Kenobi, but didn't actually score the entire show.
I think you're right.
Damn. Yeah, that guy's so
90
old.
though. So
that guy's so old, dude. He doesn't have to work anymore.
He's such a legend.
We need to preserve him somehow.
That's what I'm thinking. Stick him next to Disney in the cryo chambers,
Yeah, I was about to say that. Well said.
All right, the poll should be live now. Go ahead and cast your votes, everybody.
Oh, Natalie Holt composed Loki? Oh, I like Loki.
Loki's soundtrack was sick.
Yeah, I like that soundtrack. It was very cosmic. Okay, so that means this is probably going to be really cool.
Dude, at the con, they had a little baby alligator with a 3D printed Loki helmet
Nice.
strapped to his head. They're like, "Do you want to hold Loki?"
Did you?
No, I took they had a kangaroo, and they're like, "Do you want to hold a kangaroo?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'll hold a kangaroo."
I've held a baby lion before.
Ah,
It's pretty crazy.
be sick.
I
It's
haven't really
heavy,
held any
very
animals.
dense.
I have held a fennec fox, and then I found that ended up being like my favorite animal because they're so cute and have big ears.
Fennec foxes are awesome.
Yeah. If they weren't illegal, I'd have one right now.
Yeah.
Or
They make
correction,
terrible
if I
pets.
had enough money and a big enough estate, I'd already have one. California is like the worst when it comes to animals too.
It is. We've got
Go to Texas or Florida.
A 25%, B 62%, 0% think it's a C, and 12% think it's a D or F.
Wow.
Ooh. For someone who said it's a D or F, elaborate. I want to hear what you guys thought and why that is. I can understand. I guess I could understand it if it's just like, fatigue and you're just tired of seeing like, I guess, all the cliches and it not living up to what was expected as usual. It seems like with Star Wars nowadays. So I guess I could understand that. I wouldn't go so far as to call it a D or an F for the trailer.
I can't say. Well, for the trailer, I guess I get it. I mean, yeah, like you said, if it's fatigue or like anything that Disney puts out, you're just over it. I totally
Mhm.
get that sentiment. Like, I'm super close. I'm getting really close.
Yeah.
But this one, I can't go into it negative. I have to go into this positive. I have to. And if it
And
totally craps the bed, then, well, we know where we stand.
Yeah, this is the last time I will give them the benefit of the doubt. And then after
Yeah.
this, if they screw this up, after this, I'm going to go into everything with a negative mindset until they prove otherwise to me.
yeah, they
Right.
have to earn that kind of respect
Yeah.
back.
Which may be like 3 months.
Like on the other side of the coin, like Marvel, like I give them the benefit of the doubt with Marvel because they tend to nail it. But with Star Wars, they've just really struggled, man. They just really struggled.
Yeah, I think it's
been
just
a
because the
real rough go.
MCU, yeah, the MCU and like Marvel just has so much to pull from, and Star Wars is like, you have to be a Star Wars fan, and a lot of people that work on it aren't Star Wars fans, and
But
it's like it's showing.
Marvel hires so many directors who are huge comics fans. So it's like,
Yeah,
why, just do the same thing with Star
yeah,
Wars.
yeah,
Well, they do. They hire Star Wars fans, but they always want to I don't
shape
know.
a
It's tough
narrative
to
a certain
say.
way.
Yeah,
But
exactly. It's tough to say because I didn't read all the OG Marvel comics. I'm not really a Marvel guy, but when I watch them, I feel like it's at least somewhat true. But it's also tough when you have Marvel comic characters that, yeah, they had a sense of personality, but it wasn't like this deep drive and motivation that comes from trauma and like all these different things, and they're extremely established. I feel like in Star Wars, it's so much deeper that it's tough.
I also think it's easier to label yourself as a Star Wars fan because like every director who directs Star Wars is like, oh yeah, I'm a Star Wars fan. But it's like, did you
Yeah,
just
Yeah.
like the movies, or are you like us, where you like everything?
yeah,
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
it's
whereas
easier cop out than it is with
yeah,
Marvel.
yeah, because like I'd venture to say most people would say they're Star Wars fans, but
Right.
there's definitely levels of that, like definitely. Whereas like if you are super into the Marvel comics, um, you're in a rarer breed. I think there's definitely not as many people who are so deeply entrenched in those comics for decades before the MCU happened.
But they still seem pretty happy. I mean, other than a few short hiccups, I would say on Disney Plus,
Yeah.
the greater Marvel universe, they seem to be pretty happy. Whereas we have not had that as
Yeah,
Star
we
Wars
haven't had that
fans.
satisfaction. We've had like random like insertions into a series that it wasn't supposed to even be there. That was exciting, but like
Yeah.
other than that, it's like it just feels like we're picking it. We're picking it. What's it? Picking at hairs? Is that the phrase?
Yeah.
We're
We
grasping.
have like
I don't
Rogue
know.
One.
Yeah, yeah. Like when were you here, Zach, when we watched Rogue One with everyone's girls who's never seen Star Wars and they loved
Oh,
it?
nope.
Oh, yeah, we watched Rogue One. Me and one of my other roommates, Brody. We watched it with his girlfriend, and then Colin with his girlfriend because they've never seen Star Wars. And Rogue One was the first thing that we showed them, and like they loved it. And I'm just saying like Rogue One is like the staple right now that we have to say like as a Star Wars fan, we're proud of this. And
Yeah,
everything else
you
is
can
like,
do this.
yeah,
I would say if you under all the whole Disney umbrella in terms of like Star Wars they've put out, I think the last 4 episodes of Clone Wars season 7 is the best of the bunch. I think it's even better than Rogue One. I think that is the highest quality Star Wars we've gotten under Disney.
yeah. It's
Interesting.
just tough to get people past the animation.
That's
thing.
true.
That's very tough. What if you have like this? Even I would. It was hard to crack me too. If you have this predisposed viewpoint on like quality not being there when it comes to animation, you're never gonna want to see it. You're gonna go in there expecting to hate it, and you're not gonna actually enjoy it the right way. So. Speaking of Marvel, though, I like Doctor Strange. I guess was overstretched a lot, and the reviews aren't too good from a lot of people who are big Marvel fans.
That's disappointing.
I'm relatively excited for it just because I really do like Doctor Strange. But I guess with all the leaks and with everything that's supposed to be in it, cameos, etc., it's just too much, and the plot is like very spread thin, and it's just like a beautiful mess. I mean, a chaotic.
Oh boy.
Yeah, like I guess a lot of people are saying that, but I guess I'll find out on Saturday. But
I can
don't know,
see
that's just
that.
what I've been hearing. It's like based off of like everything that they have to do with the multiverse and everyone they have to include in this movie, and it's only 2 hours. Like, good luck.
Yeah, I mean, when you do the whole multiverse thing, I've been waiting for them to screw it up somehow because it's just so. When you have all these different versions of the same character, it's like it's gonna get confusing sometimes.
Like there's no way you're gonna attract new fans because you can't just build from the ground up. It's like you have to already know everything going into it.
Yeah,
and it's like, it's sure it creates like loyal fans, but eventually everyone just gets, as we just discussed, fatigued. And I feel like Disney just loves to fatigue its fans in everything that they buy. They don't like to just create quality projects every couple of years. They have to bust out 4 or 5 different pieces of content every year. That's, one of them being maybe really good. That seems to be what happens.
That's why I really think Star Wars needs to go back to the big screen, and they need to take more time. They need to really focus, really write a good story in a fresh take, and I think it could reinvigorate a lot of people.
Yeah, what would you suggest, like going like Old Republic or New Republic, or Old Republic or High Republic kind of era, or?
Yeah, they could. I think what they really need is maybe not like Rogue One era, but I think doing a story kind of in that maybe just post Return of the Jedi era could be really cool. It doesn't have to focus on the big 3. It doesn't have to be Han and Leia and Luke. But struggling with basically a power vacuum and eliminating the Empire. Like the good guys won. What do we do now?
Yeah.
I think that could be really interesting.
Update on the poll. A is now 50%, B is now 42%, 0% still for C, and 8% for DNF.
Whoever's putting DNF, I really want to hear what you thought.
Speak now.
Or forever hold your peace. I'll assume your vote is void, and you're just trolling. We need you to elaborate.
I can't see the chat on my phone. I haven't been able to see the chat. So
you can see it on. Oh, like even when because you're in StreamYard, aren't you? With and you can't see like comments or anything.
If I turn my phone sideways, I can't see the chat.
What about when I like highlight them like this?
Oh yeah, you can see that.
Okay.
Oh, okay. They like make it where it's like impossible to use your phone.
Pretty much.
Like we do not condone this. Anyway, I was actually hoping because I was at Disneyland on May the 4th or May 3rd, going into May the 4th, and I thought they were going to show the trailer there, and I was really hoping to get some cool crowd reaction to a trailer, but they didn't do it. And then I woke up at 7 a.m. or 8 a.m. the next morning to the trailer, and I'm like, oh, they totally should have just released it at Disneyland. That would have been fun. But
have your camera at Celebration ready to go.
Yeah, it would have been. Oh, really? Andor? You don't know something? Fallen Order?
I don't know.
WATTO.
Although that did just get a pushback.
WATTO, a Star Wars story.
Hell yeah.
I think I'd be the only one in the crowd to just like freak out if they did a WATTO.
No, don't worry. I'd be right there with you.
Hell
But
yeah, brother.
but Zach, so
Finally.
so Transmute and Ray Connects and a couple other people are going to Celebration. So they're gonna have like a press box or whatever the heck, like whatever it is. Like they're gonna have like a little section for like their fan film and for everything. And so
Booth.
we're gonna all hang out with them on either before the Kenobi signing or after the Kenobi signing. I don't remember, on Friday or Saturday. So
Okay.
just keep that in mind. And then we're gonna buy X-Wing and fly him out. Dude, it's so sad you're not going.
Yeah, I'm pretty bummed, but I got a pretty decent helping at ICCC and hanging out. I mean, the room settings were so small for the panels. There was like 100 people, and then Ian McDermott, and then like 100 people and Anthony Daniels. So
Speaking of which, you want to talk about that? What did they say?
yeah, I don't want to talk about it like at length, but I found it extremely interesting how openly, I guess the NDAs were out, because they were very okay being openly against the sequels during the panels. Ian McDermott less so, but he's also very intelligent in the way he speaks, and so there were some very undercut jabs about the process and Palpatine coming back and all those different things. Anthony Daniels not so much. He was pretty open. In fact, he took a poll of the room and he said, "Let's go through our favorite Star Wars movies." And he goes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and everybody's screaming and screaming. And then it goes 7. Oh, and the whole room just completely quiet. And he's like, "I'm shocked." Like, oh, very interesting. Oh, weird.
He's
And
like,
then,
now let's do the crowd favorite, 8.
Yeah, and then he says 8, and one girl stands up. She's like, "Wow!" and starts screaming. He's like, "Calm down, sit down."
Oh
Sit down.
my god.
Yeah, it was fun.
Like, take her away.
Well, I remember back when The Force Awakens was coming out, he was saying like, "Oh, this is gonna be like," he's like, "This is gonna be one of the best ones." I remember his like, he gave an interview or something. He's like, "This is definitely one of the best ones," and I was like, "Okay, buddy."
Yeah, he was real pissed about the red arm.
Was he?
Very, very upset about the red arm. He wanted to be all gold for once, and then it was interesting. He talked. He has a book that came out, and it was kind of interesting listening him talk about when it came to the original trilogy. He felt like super shorted, and he was really upset because they wanted to keep the illusion that C-3PO was really a droid, and so Anthony Daniels never got any recognition. He never really got his name anywhere, and
I didn't know that.
yeah, because they wanted to maintain the illusion that C-3PO was a droid, and so he was super hurt about it. It was actually really sad. But yeah, he wrote a book. I'm trying to remember the name of the book right now. It's like C-3PO Inside the Suit or something like that. So I'm definitely gonna read that.
Sick.
He probably also didn't like how little he was in the sequels. Like they barely used C-3PO, particularly The Last Jedi.
He was a real good plot device for about 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Then,
Yeah. That's all he was for the whole trilogy.
yeah.
And fan service. Like unexpected fan service.
I don't want to talk about this.
Yeah, we don't need to get into that.
We don't need to explore your trauma anymore.
Yeah.
Oh.
But it was cool. Timothy Zahn is just an absolutely amazing individual. It's ridiculous because, like everybody else, you had to pay the money and you wait in line and you get to meet him. And he just had a booth with like a bunch of different books. And he was like, if you just buy one book, it was like $30 for a 20th anniversary Heir to the Empire. And then he would write you a personalized signature inside of it.
That's so cool, dude. I hope he does that at Celebration. It's probably gonna be way too many people for him to do that, but I hope he does that.
Yeah, it's gonna be nuts. But I grabbed a bunch of people from my community from the hangar bay, and we all ran over and just like crowded his table, and we're talking to him, and he stood up. He took pictures with all of us. We were talking about the books. He was just super, super down to earth. So glad to see that, because I know authors can be a little sketchy sometimes.
Yeah, a lot of creatives in general are just very weird people sometimes. And so
look at us, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm a psycho. So
Alex is a freak.
yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
he
look
plays
at him.
nice on camera, guys, but once we get into the backstage, it's
Yeah.
I'm brutal.
He's got
Yeah.
facial tattoos and stuff.
Yeah. I tattoo over my tattoo to make it look like I don't have tattoos.
You just put makeup. You put makeup on.
Now that's art.
Yeah. This is all a facade. The moment it sends, I go in Zach's room and kick his ass. You're like, you you fucked up everything. How could you talk like that? He just. I also have to tattoo over Zach's bruises, so that no one
Jesus
knows that he has
Christ.
bruises.
Oh, I hate you.
I'm too busy Amber hurting him. So
God.
You pooped in his bed?
what was that?
You pooped in his bed?
Yeah,
dude, it's
I
pretty
pooped in his bed.
gross. It
Yeah.
was pretty
Nasty.
gross.
Yeah, he came home because he was gone for a month. He comes in and his bed is just like reeking. He's like, "What does that smell?" He just opens the sheets. It's just destroyed, dude. It's like a month's worth of Amber hurting his bed, dude.
All right. All right.
Anyway, anything else to talk about, Zach? Anything on the itinerary? Any new news
That
before we close
is
out?
pretty much it. We covered it
Alrighty.
all.
Alrighty, and then again, X-Wing, you're a legend for always coming on
Yeah, thank you.
last minute,
Always.
even when you're, not in the comfort of your own place. You're traveling
Yeah.
at the moment, so it means a lot, dude. I plan on wanting, if you want to be like a regular part of, I guess, the podcast, talk about episodes moving forward, like in June. We plan on having like all sorts of people on if you want to come on and chat with them the same way we did with the Bad Batch. I think we're going to be doing it. Is the Kenobi show on Fridays now, or is it just temporary?
I don't know if they're going to stick with it or not. They may move it to Wednesdays, but they just released a new show as well for StarWars.com that's coming out on Wednesdays. It's called like Obi-Wan Wednesdays or something like that. So I'd be
Okay.
surprised if they do that. Maybe they do it right before the episode airs, and I'm not 100% sure.
Okay. Well, regardless, if it's on Wednesdays, then we can just do the same time as we do here on Thursday at 4 to discuss all the shit prior.
I'm not going to be able to make that.
Oh,
I work till 5 now.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay. Are you 9 to 5?
8 to 5 hour limit.
You're gonna have to quit your job, X-Wing.
Sorry, new job.
Yeah.
More
Austin,
important things to do.
My agent will send you a contract. You are now on our salary.
Let's do it. Yeah,
We pay.
for sure.
We
What
pay,
salary?
we pay with energy drinks and
Nice.
abuse. So
That's all you need.
yeah, at the end of the day. But anyway, everyone, may the force be with you. Let's pray to God. Kenobi is good, and we will see you guys